Welcome once again to our daily visit with God. And I know this will be the Thursday edition, so I ended the last one saying we'll see you tomorrow, not looking in advance that will be a Wednesday. And so this is actually a couple days later on a Thursday morning, or Thursday afternoon, I should say. And we're going to be in Job chapter 24 and verse 2. And let me just tell you, I wrote this daily visit back in April when we were kind of just getting started, really getting significantly started into this shelter at home order. And one of the things that was concerning me, one of the things that still concerns me was the use of social media, Facebook and YouTube and whatever else is going to be the use of those among pastors and churches to begin feeding flocks that aren't their own and seeing a blessing in that. And so I wrote this devotion really out of a concern for that. And look at this passage. It's in Job chapter 24 and verse 2. Job says, "Some remove the landmarks. They violently take away flocks and feed thereof," stealing flocks to feed someone else's flock. And anyway, I consider Job's observation in this passage to be a warning that's very apropos for our current Chinese coronavirus shelter order. And due to I'm going to call it the ubiquity, it's everywhere. The nature of social media is everywhere. We have the makings of a mass removal of one of God's own and basic landmarks for the New Testament, and that is the local church. And that each local church is fitted. God fits people to that local church, and that church is to be the place of pasture. That church is to be the place of feed for the believers. You know, some people will remove during these days, will remove those landmarks and start feeding where they ought not feed, feeding those they ought not feed. They'll do it unwittingly with a desire to be a help and to share the gospel. They'll take down the walls of the local church and tread where they don't belong. And some are going to remove the landmarks kind of incidentally, accidentally, I should say, maybe, in their effort to feed the flock over which God has made them overseer. They're going to trample on pastures belonging to other flocks. So they're trying to feed their own, but they're going to be feeding others. And got to be very, very careful that we don't do anything that is a hindrance and a hurt to a local church. And then some will remove the landmarks of the local church. They're going to do it purposefully. They're going to take it by violence, take it by force, seizing on this day and having no regard for the landmarks of the local church. They're going to invade the pastures to steal away the sheep, steal away the flock. And I think it's a reminder we need to be vigilant to protect the landmarks of the local church and not get caught up in the moment, that get so caught up in the moment that we forget the very reason that we're Baptists. And that is, we understand the principle of the local New Testament Baptist church. So I'll see you tomorrow, all right? God bless.